Hello, everybody. Welcome to RealTalk. Thank you for joining today's broadcast. We're coming live from Louisville right now. I hope everybody is having a great day today. And let me just go ahead and wait for a few people to join. I am your host, Obie Akram. And I'm trying to get this going, so just give me a second. Obie Akram. So if you haven't watched this show before, we are all about giving value back to the clients at Robert the Real Estate Company. And I'm part of the company as a team lead. And I run a team of real estate agents. And my team name is Exchange Properties Team. If you haven't before known me, from my background, I come from Pakistan, originally from Pakistan, and I moved to the United States about 16 years ago. And I'm excited to start this career in real estate. And so I just want to bring a lot of value to my clients. So this is what actually I've been doing in the last couple of weeks. I've been hosting this show. It's called Real Talk with Obie Akram. So where I actually bring different industries and part of the real estate industry, different experts to bring you some value. So I'm going to be actually, if you're just joining, please go ahead and, if you're joining, go ahead and like, share, comment. If you have any questions, please go ahead and actually type your comments below in the comment section. And I'm going to be bringing my host pretty shortly. And let me go ahead and see. Okay, Mr. Nick Mathis. Welcome, Nick.
Hey, how we doing, sir?
How's it going, man?
Man, it's good. It's good. Been a busy day, but busy is good.
Busy is always good. Busy is always good. So Nick is with Supreme Lending, and he's a local loan officer, and he is actually very, very involved in the community. I have worked with Nick previously at NationStar when I was doing underwriting for NationStar, and now we're joining ventures in retail outlets. Basically, I'm doing the real estate side of it, being an agent. Nick is doing his thing in lending world and as a loan officer. So Nick, audience today, I wanna bring the topic up. Today's topic is actually financing. So awesome. I just want to bring that up to date, and then I want to let you take over here in a second. Just give people advice. If you can talk about some of the programs that are out there for first-time home buyers, and if people want to do a cash-out refinance, or if they want to do conventional loans. Just some tips and tricks and whatever you can give value to the audience out there, joining in.
Oh, that sounds great. And yeah, I appreciate you having me on. And this is a great opportunity to, this time of year, kind of when the market starts heating up, and we're going to have a lot of folks that, are wanting to get into it. First-time home buyers are, that's a big piece of the market. And so, those are folks that I really enjoy getting an opportunity to work with. It's always so cool, to help somebody when they're buying their first house, and you're sitting there with them at the closing table, and that really can change their life. It changed mine. I remember buying my first house when Sheree and I had the boys and they were babies, and buying it, and it was such a cool thing. So, so a couple awesome things that I always try to impress upon my first time homebuyer clients, just to make sure that we have the best opportunity to get the best deal out there, is that you really want to do your research. Now, whether you're going to get online and do that yourself, or if you're going to call somebody like myself or work with your realtor to get an idea, you're going to want to do a little bit of research, because there are, we're very blessed here in Texas that we have 3 or 4 different first-time homebuyer programs that are not only reduced fee programs, but also have the opportunity to help you with your down payment money. And back in the past, sellers or lenders and stuff, they used to be able to help contribute money towards your down payment. And so that was always a really big thing. It was easy to do. Now they've changed a lot of those guidelines where that money has to either come from, any down payment money has to come from the buyer themselves or from a family member. And then the third thing it can come is from like a nonprofit type of organization. And so in Texas, the two most popular ones are through the Texas State Affordable Housing Commission, and then also the Southeast Texas Finance Corporation. It's TSHAC and SEF for short. And both of those programs, they're really, really great programs. TSHAC's probably the most popular one. And you can go online. If anybody wants to take a look at it, they can go to tsahc.org. And there's an eligibility test that a first-time home buyer can take. And there's certain things it is meant for like median income households. And the coolest thing about the program is that if you're eligible for it, whether we combine it with an FHA loan or with a standard conforming loan, you get specific discounts on some of the fees, and they'll also can give you either 3, 4, or 5% of your loan amount as down payment money. And so, we all hear these radio commercials about 0% down programs and things like that. This is what they're talking about, is this exact type of stuff. They a lot of times don't want to mention it by name because then people just go out and check it themselves. But they're a great way to do that, where, if we do, we can stack that with a program maybe where they have a 3% down and we get 4% from TSHAC, covers the down payment, and we get a little bit of extra money to maybe help cover closing costs, and it can make it really, really affordable for buyers to get into a home.
For a first-time home buyer, when they're actually going through financing process, so is it best to just go ahead and get through minimum down payment of FHA of 3.5%, or is it better to go with conventional? Or if people have enough saving, is it better to just go ahead and put down 20% where you don't have mortgage insurance? What do you think is best route for a first-time home buyer?
Well, I mean, if you have 20% down, if you're able to eliminate mortgage insurance, that's always the best thing. I mean, it's one less. It's it's going to save you a couple $100 a month on average. So definitely well worth it. If you have the money, great. The cool thing is that with these programs, if you still wanted to utilize it, you could utilize that program and use your own cash too, which is kind of cool. So it doesn't automatically exclude you. But what I would tell folks, and this is I feel like is what anybody should be telling a buyer, being really honest, is that if you're a first-time home buyer and you have really good credit, generally doing either a conforming loan or a conventional loan where we maybe like Fannie Mae has a home ready program, and if you have good credit and you have to do mortgage insurance because you don't have that 20% down, you do get a discounted mortgage insurance rate when you have really good credit. If you're somebody that, let's say has kind of that middle of the road credit, and that mortgage insurance rate's going to be higher because, not everybody has an 800 FICO score first time around buying a house. So we might want to go with FHA because that's a set amount for the mortgage insurance. And then we can kind of piggyback some of those extra programs on top of that. But I think that I really think that that's why it's so important to talk to somebody that can offer all those programs, because for example, I talked to a client yesterday, and gentleman's in the military, wanted to go with his military bank, figured that was the best deal. They're offering a great rate, which was fantastic, but they didn't offer any of these extra programs because they were specific in the state of Texas, and they just didn't do state specific programs. So sometimes I know folks, they automatically say, well, hey, I bank with Chase, I want to check with Chase, or I bank with USA, I want to check with them. I'm not saying that's a bad option, but I definitely would say and highly recommend that they at least talk to somebody that can offer them everything and who is not incentivized to do one versus another. For us, we are compensated when a loan closes. And so it doesn't really matter what program we do, and it allows us to really be an advocate for our clients for that.
Very nice. Very nice. So as far as let's talk about some cash out refinancing.
Yeah.
What kind of programs Supreme Lendings offer for cash out refinancing? If you can enlighten us on that.
Absolutely.
Is there, if it's like a regular traditional cash out refinance, what's out there right now?
Yeah, there's a couple different things out there. cash out refinances in Texas are a little bit more tricky because Texas is the only state in the union that has specific equity laws when it comes to Texas to cash out loans. And so you definitely want to make sure you kind of talk to someone that's going to be able to explain that to you. But right now, I mean, the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have really taken out some of the overlays, some of their cash out overlays when it comes to pricing exceptions and things like that. And so right now you can do a standard Texas home equity cash out refinance. And in a lot of cases, the interest rates are very, very comparable to what a rate and term refinance might be. And then Supreme also has, if you are in that non-conforming, maybe jumbo or kind of mini jumbo market, we even have some cash out loans for that as well that still also meet the Texas home equity guidelines. So we're compliant on the state side, compliant obviously on the federal side, and then we do have a couple different programs that we can go with.
Awesome, man. So if anybody is joining right now, please go ahead and comment below if you have any questions for Nick right now as we move forward with the program. And then I will display those comments on the screen so we can go ahead and talk about it. Also, if you're joining right now or if you're actually catching up on a pre-recorded program, please leave a message in the comment section for Nick if you have any questions or concerns, or do you want to refi it, you're looking for a new home, you want to finance it, you want to purchase a home. Anything it relates to that, I'll be tagging Nick in this live program, and then you can directly reach out to Nick at Supreme Lending on his Facebook page. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and put his phone number down below on the screen here, so that way you can actually call Nick if you do need to get a hold of him. It's actually 469-525-2596.
Yes, sir.
So Nick, if let's just say if you're actually in a situation where you want a closing done fast,
Yes.
You've been with the lender, you got you went through one lender, and then your loan is not where you're supposed to be, or
Right.
your interest rate is not where it's
That never
supposed to be.
happens.
It never happens, man, right? No, so it's very typical for a consumer to go through a lending company and not get what he was promised. So in that cases, how fast are your services? Let's just talk about your product, Supreme Lending, and how fast are you? Because I have worked with you, and you have done miracles. So I just want to, I have to put that out there, and so
Thank you.
and I want to make sure that you actually let us know how fast you guys are.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, that's fantastic, and yeah, there's no magic wand, but I sometimes do feel like my team works some magic over here. I'm incredibly blessed to have dedicated support staff here. Even though we are a large, Supreme's a big company, and we're a large enough branch though that we have a support team, processing team, setup team, underwriting team, and even our closing funding team that are dedicated specifically to us. And so the best thing about that for folks that don't really understand is that a lot of times the delay when you're working, with a lender is generally it's not that first guy that you talk to. It's that your loan gets put into this giant call center or a queue, gets assigned to one of 500 processors, and you just don't really get much control over it. What I love about our team is that I'm gonna get everything together, submit a file over. Joey's gonna order all my services, and I'm gonna have Shannon's gonna do all the processing for me, and then Shallon's gonna underwrite it, and I already know that ahead of time, and that's the neatest thing. So I would tell you that from a legal standpoint, pretty much the fastest that you can close a loan because of TRID rules and things like that is about 10 days. And we have had circumstances where we have been ready to go and had to actually wait for 2 or 3 days for what that legal first closing date is to be. On average right now, our branch's turn time, and this is all things considered, even some new build stuff, that takes longer, we're running about 24 days. And so it is not uncommon for us to knock something out in 13 or 14 days and be able to have clients pick a home, go under contract the first week of the month, and hit that closing date the last week of the month, no problem.
Wow, that's awesome, man. probably I'm one of the witnesses of that whole deal, like where we had a lender that backed out, and then we had to go to a different lender. Fortunate enough, I know Nick for a long time, so I brought it to him, the deal, and it was awesome. Like we got it done on time. Everybody was happy.
Yes.
So, Nick, do you have? Let's just talk about you. I always like to ask a personal question. Always, real estate is pretty dry and cut, but like let's just know you first. So
mortgages are no fun, man.
Tell the viewers, yeah, definitely. Tell the viewers where you're from and how long you've been in Texas, and anything you want to how did you get into profession? How long you've been doing it, and what do you like about it?
Yeah, thanks, brother. That's great. Yeah, so I started. I'm 40 years old now, and I feel like I was a baby when I started. I was about 27 years old when I started. I'm from California originally, born and raised out there. All my family's still out there, and going way back when I used to do finance and insurance stuff at a big power sports dealership, so boats and motorcycles. So I've always been pretty good with numbers. And then when the the mortgage boom was really kind of taking off out there in 2004, 5, 6, I had tons of friends that were getting into it, and they said, hey, you might want to think about doing this. And so I actually remember January 10th, 2005 was my first day on the job as a loan officer. Had a really awesome opportunity at a branch in California, and about a year after that, the company gave me the opportunity to move to Texas. And at the time, my wife Sheree and we had 2 young sons. I think our boys were 5 and 2 at the time, and we said, you know what, we're going to take a flyer on this and just go. And we picked up, moved to Texas 11 years ago. We've never looked back. We even decided to have another kid just to make it official, so we have a Texan in the house as well. And so it's been quite a journey. I mean, going from when Obie and I worked together back at Nation Star, from loan officer to branch manager to assistant vice president, really great stuff. Learned a ton, and then it just became a thing. It was time to move out and do some things on my own, and that's really my favorite part of this right now. Is that at one point I had very little contact with the clients. I was a problem solver, and now I have that opportunity. And my favorite part about it is working directly with the clients, not just getting involved when there's a problem. I get to do it right up front, set it up there, and then like you and I've talked about, being able to sit down at the closing table when somebody's buying their first house is a pretty amazing feeling. And I feel like guys are missing out that don't go to the closings for their clients, because like that's the best part. We did all this hard work and we've done all this things to get it ready, and then you're just going to send them paperwork and not show up. So I really, really love that part about it. I enjoy being able to work for this. My boys love having me home a little bit more, because even if I'm out and around, we've had conversations 9 o'clock at night and kids are in bed. But at least
any time of the day. That's one of the good things about you that I actually really, really love. That I can call Nick anytime. I can just go ahead and call him at any point of the day, and he will answer or he'll reply back. That's wonderful. Yeah. That's awesome to have a partner in lending where you can reach out to your lender anytime at a point on a transaction phase, because there's a lot of things that goes on whenever you're actually going through the financing part of it. Cool, man. Well, it's really, really, I really appreciate you, Nick, for joining today.
Thank you.
To RealTalk, and love to have you on again. I know this is the second time we did that, but this time is a little bit better. The last time, so much we're going to get better and better every day. Out there, if you want to give a one last shout out to anybody, or if you want to go ahead and tell everybody thank you, whatever you like to do. And we thank you for having being on live today.
Hey, thanks so much. I mean, I appreciate you, Obie, and I'll tell you, I mean, anybody watching this, this is a guy that goes and gets it for his clients, and it's something that it's the truth, bro. It's the truth, man. I know you get after it, so I got to throw a little praise back your way, because I know that if you're calling me at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for your clients, and that's really awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, shout out to my team. Shannon Terry, she's my processor. She's amazing. Yeah, she takes care of stuff for us. And if anybody wants to easily search me on Facebook, DFW Mortgage Man. That's perfect. My website's www.dfwmortgageman.com. Check it out. Obie posted my cell phone number. That's my real personal cell phone number. So you're welcome to give me a call.
It's DFW Mortgage Man.
Yep, dfwmortgageman.com. Somehow that was not a website that somebody had already when I moved over in the business. I thought that would have definitely been taken, but it is not. And it's a heck of a lot easier than nick.mathis.supremelending.com. So
yeah, I'm gonna put it up here.
Awesome.
Is that it?
Yes,
I think it's DFW Mortgage Man, right? Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, dfwmortgageman.com.
There we go.
There it is. There it is. So yeah. So
anybody
out there, you're welcome to give me a call. I'm happy to chat with you, give you some information. We don't charge an application fee just to talk to you about something. Well, we don't charge an application fee at all, but we definitely don't do that just to talk to you. So give me a call if there's something that you have a question about. I'm happy to talk about it. You don't know what you don't know, and that's why people like myself and Obie and my team. That's why we're in business. I don't know everything about building a rocket, but I'm glad somebody else does. But I do know about how to do mortgages.
That's awesome, man. Thank you so much Nick for being here today and spending time with us. And I really, really appreciate the audience for taking the time to watch this show. As we move forward with this show, as we go along, I'll bring you a lot more value, a lot more experts, advice, and then whatever I can contribute to your life. Please always, you can reach out to me if you're actually at a networking event or you just see me in the grocery store. Always reach out to me. Anything I can do for you and for the community, I'm here for you. Thank you so much. Peace out, and have a nice day, man. I think it's